Welcome back to Project Manager Plays with me, Sifu Xerxes. In today's video, we'll be doing a tier list of 35 custom maps that are available in the Thunderstore modding platform. So if you haven't already, check out my How to Mod City Skylines 2 video that I'm linking here. And if you want more details on any of these maps, my two most recent videos, I'll include a link in the description. Also walked you through each of these maps. So we're going to start off at the very bottom with very situational maps. These are maps that probably aren't worth playing unless you have a specific use case for them in mind. And this is, of course, subjective. This is my opinion. Just so you know, the metrics I used to review these maps were available resources, creativity or variety in landscape, outside connections, and starting difficulty. So with all that in mind, as I reviewed these over the last couple of videos, I gave each of them a score. Again, super subjective, just my opinion, but here's where I personally feel these maps are at. So, like I said, starting here on very situational, we've got 3 maps. The first is Flatland. And that's also going to be paired with Flatonia. So these are just 2 flat maps, literally just flat. There's no landscaping at all. They're very boring. Some of them, I mean, they have like okay outside connections. They have okay available resources. They're not going to be that hard, although one of them doesn't even have water on the map at all. So that's going to potentially be a little bit of an issue. But, you know, if you want a blank slate, these are your maps. It's super situational. The other one is Carthage, and I feel a little bad dragging this in here because honestly, it's a really creative map. But it's just, I don't know, it didn't do it for me on the resources or the outside connections, and the starting difficulty is on the harder side, in my opinion, as well for this particular map. So those are your very situational maps. Next up, we'll look at interesting but situational as well. So the first one in here is Lost Valley. Okay, so like I said, Lost Valley, and then Riverwood is next. This one's always a little difficult to find. It's actually not, here it is. It's not labeled like some of these other ones are. And then Jacksonville, Florida is next in the interesting but situational list, followed by Lisbon, the ultimate one-tile island, Cape of Merchants, and Cali Coast. These are all, honestly, somewhat interesting maps. You may really like one of them. They're just not to my taste. So kind of middle tier here, interesting maps. This is going to start off with Atlantis. It's really creative. It's got some good things going for it, but just some stuff that I couldn't get past either, which is why it didn't end up on like an S tier or an A tier. After Atlantis, Warsaw, Poland. Here it is. And then Detroit, Great Flatlands. Roanoke, Tenochtitlan. Sorry for butchering that. Still can't say it. Victoria Bay. Oslo. Island. It's just called Island. And Cop Van North Holland. Sorry, excuse me. That one is here. So they're all interesting maps, potentially worth checking out. But there are so many, like you've got to start somewhere. So let's move into the maps that I recommend probably starting with. So Coastal Island is almost certainly worth building on, followed by Nola River, which is hiding over here. Riverside Islands. Chicago, interestingly, rated a little higher than Detroit. Glacial Coast, Kexford, followed by Kexford Temperate as well, Wanaka, New Zealand, Fredericton. I always forget the name of this one as well. Let's see. Midwest Plains is that map that I just dragged up there. And the Three Sisters. So those are all your almost certainly worth building on maps. Let's finish this up with my 4 personal favorites. So we've got Allegheny Ridges, North Harbor, Magnolia County, and Dolphin Bay. If you want a custom map, those 4 are strongly recommended by me. Or these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These top 15, honestly, are all pretty solid. So there you go. There's your tier list. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? If there's something that you're just like blown away by where I put it, let me know. I'd love to hear some arguments on, why you prefer one map over the other.